Good evening. Welcome to episode 3 of the Mini Challenge Clubsport talk show. And I can't believe it. It's the end of the season already. You've had your final round. We've got champions, and we're going to be actually speaking to one of those tonight. We've got a packed show. I'm going to bring on the main men in a second because we're going to be fitting in Freddy Hewitt, who has won R56 and the Air Tech for the combined R53 and R56. We've got one of our key sponsors, business partners, and a past champion in the Coopers, and he's changed into the Cooper S's next year. It'll be great to have a chat with Neal Clarke from Norfolk Cars. And we've got Jordan coming on from Ravenol because we've got a really exciting announcement tonight that I'm delighted to be bringing you live and in full effect, as they say in the clubs. I think I'm too old for that, really, aren't I? But we're going to have a chat about that. And then myself, Tom, and Rob are going to chat after all of that and just bring you the provisional calendar for next year. And a part of that Ravenol announcement, we're going to take an element of that a little bit further. Before I get our first guess in, I'm going to very quickly bring the powers that be in because I just want to make sure that we chat about the season that was. Evening, gents.
Evening. How are you?
Yeah, very good. You guys well? You have you refreshed from that trip up to Croft yet?
No.
I think Rob's still trying to get home.
I love it. I love it.
No.
I tell you what, actually, it's interesting because, at this time of the year, it suddenly becomes very busy because you want to set in stone everything for the following year. So we've been sorting the calendar, been talking to the partners, talking to the drivers. The response from the drivers for at the end of the season has been great for next year. We've got, I don't think, 19 or 20 coming back already confirmed. Yes. We've got some new drivers coming in. Well, each year, Tom, it's just the foundations get stronger, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. And it's just been chaos really since just before Croft, trying to sort out the calendar for next season. New drivers wanting to join, wanting confirmation on regulations, which obviously we have to draft. So there's a lot going on, and everyone thinks, oh, it's a bit of downtime. For us, it's actually probably one of the busiest times of the season. Trying to sort out even more partners for next season, and some testing with tyres and things like that we need to get on with. So yeah, busy.
But I mean, what a wonderfully rewarding situation for you guys. I hope you take time to sort of like take delight and pride in what is building up. The fact that you've got to put that effort means that it warrants it.
Yeah, I think that we got 4 fantastic champions this year. The thing is, the racing was superb.
Yes.
Our Clarke was really, really complimentary about the way the drivers behaved. I'm really happy, actually more so than anything, is that we've got new champions, we've got new drivers coming through, we're going to new circuits, and we've got this camaraderie in the paddock, which seems brilliant. And that's one of the key things. It's difficult to get and very difficult to maintain.
Agreed, and I've seen where it's been good and it's been lost as well. So it does take that constant effort from everybody, from both sides, the drivers and you guys on the organising side of it. So I applaud you guys as well for everything you've done. I'm allowed to say that because I'm neutral, so it's fine. I know it's your show, but I'm neutral. So well done to you guys. Quickly, we've already got David Taylor's jumped in and said, "Evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone's good." And he says, "Hi, Dawsy and the MCC guys." Evening, David. You can all put comments or questions wherever you're watching, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, doesn't matter. Put your comments, put your questions in. We can put them up on screen. This is all about the community that we're building, even when you're not at the race circuit. That's the whole idea of this. I guess, guys, we need to push on and get our first guest in. Are you going to stay on for questions, or are you going to pepper me with things from the private chat?
Private chat for me.
I don't mind either which way.
Yes.
Well,
you decide, Chris.
We'll put you to the back, and you can do that because you're coming on later anyway. We'll do it.
I've got to go and put the spuds on, so if you can just get...
Well, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get rid of these two. They can go like up in that. What's the Muppets up in the balcony? You're going to be You two are going to be hounding me in the background like them. Those two.
Right. Once I've peeled the spuds, I'll be back.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring out R56 and the combined AirTech Trophy champion. Next up, we've got Freddy Hewitt. Evening, Freddie.
How are we?
I am good, thank you, my friend. I'll just quickly bring this up, is that Paul Noloff says, Rob looks ready for his hot chocolate. I'm just
my work boss.
Yeah, yeah, he has laughed. That's the good news. First things first, Freddie. Massive congratulations. A hard-fought season. Some great dicing with the likes of Jamie Ringer and all of that sort of stuff. Congratulations, and I believe that it is kind of built up to a lifelong dream to get those championships under your belt.
Yeah, thank you. I've been racing for going on 13 years now.
Wow.
In go-karts, and then moving up to cars, and it's always been a massive dream from the very start to become a champion. So to do that and have that monkey off your back is such an unbelievable achievement for us. Such a family-based team, and only fighting on the scraps we have, really.
And that's quite an interesting one. You've used the phrase "the monkey off the back," and I hear it quite a lot. Is that whilst you're going for it time and time again, and something happens that just robs you of it, and a bit of bad luck. How does it genuinely? I mean, it obviously does, because you've said it yourself. That feeling of the monkey off the back give you a clarity, a strength going into next year.
Yeah, in go-karts, I actually really struggled to be one of the quick guys, consistently anyway. And going into cars, I felt so much more comfortable and at home. But when you're not winning, or you're in this, you're in the wrong series for you or for your car, it does give you doubts of whether A, you should be doing it, and B, you're good enough to do it and do it at a competitive level. Last year was a really good year in the way that it gave me a lot of confidence. But I made a few sort of young boy errors, which affected my season. And the bad luck Zach had at Snetterton in the end of the season, if I didn't make my mistake, I'd have liked to think I'd have won that championship as well. But it wasn't to be. I made my mistakes and I learned from them. But such a big boost of confidence from last year that we managed to carry through to this year.
So that's the interesting sort of like progress, isn't it? Is that frustration and really gutted that you came so close, but to then turn it around and go, yeah, but hang on, I was in the hunt. That gave you the confidence coming into this year. You've now done it. What does that mean going into next year?
Means hopefully I can butter a few more people up some sponsorship, because it's such a sellable item. Last year's results really helped us get some sponsorship for this year, and hopefully we can push on for next year and get a good quality sponsorship deal.
And I guess having gone through that whole process is that it means that you're kind of going, no, I feel ready to deal with the success, the disappointment, the frustration, the elation, all of the above. You kind of go, yeah, I know how to deal with all of them a bit better now.
Yeah, and I think you also sign up for most of them when you decide to be a racing driver. You get the excitement, the downfall, just all the emotions of being a racing driver.
It is a lot, isn't it? A couple of comments coming in already. Alan Scoggins says, Freddie, are you still the Rainmeister?
I was at Croft.
Okay.
But not a Brands, because I was on the wrong tyres at the time, so that didn't help.
Oh no, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
James Howard says a well-deserved win, and a round of applause there. So thank you for that comment from James.
Yeah.
Perfect acceleration sim racing, they say. Evening all. Hello to you. I'm assuming that's probably going to be Mick saying that. So good evening to you guys. My gut instinct, therefore, is that this championship was the perfect one to come in because it's amazing cars, serious competition. Having commentated on you guys, is that it's always without fail exciting, racing, very close, very tight, but highly regulated in terms of the driving standards, and a wonderful spirit back in the paddock as well, which must sort of help relieve some of that pressure.
It does, and the journey our cars had, it's been within our family this is the 10th anniversary of owning the car. So my sister used to race it. I think her first season was 2014, within the original Mini Challenge open class. And to have the car through all of them years and have this journey with it has been very good. You say about being in the right championship, obviously that Mini Challenge broke up, and not long after that I jumped in the car, which meant we had to go to a more open series where the regs were more open. You could have different cars, and we ended up fighting against sequential Renault Clios, and in a pretty not far off standard powered Mini, and their penalty for having a sequential gearbox was like 20 kilos of weight or something like that. You just had no chance. We still gave them a good race, but you had, like I say, you had no chance. So when the opportunity came to join this series, it was a really good opportunity for us to show what we've got, show the car's still got it. Quite an undeveloped car now, and we're really enjoying it. It's been great. So credit to Tom and Rob for putting it together for us, really.
Agreed. Absolutely. I agree with that sentiment. Claire McInnes says, well done, Freddie. It's from Jason, actually, not Claire. So unless that's just a weekend thing, I don't know. But James Howard says, working alongside Freddie and the team has been great this season. Looking forward to next season. Hopefully more trophies to come. So lovely comments from James. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Chris Aram says, sorry for all the emails. I'm not sure who that's to, whether that was to you or whether it was to Tom and Rob. We are well on the way with build. Looking forward to being on the grid next season. So I would imagine no one's going to complain about emails if it's getting more of you on the grid. I mean,
no, yeah, Bless them.
Have you decided on next season yet?
The plan, the sort of what I would call the bog standard plan, which is all being well, is to be in the series next year. Unless, as I always keep my options open, unless there's someone out there with a lovely pot of money, pot of gold, hopefully, that would mean I could move up into maybe a Cooper or a JCW within the mini challenge, but I don't see that happening currently. So it looks like next season would be to defend and hopefully carry the number one for the year.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. Well, listen, Freddie, massive congratulations. Do you want to give a shout out to anyone before I let you go?
Oh, so many people. My dad sat behind me and been really quiet, so I'll give him a shout out first. We're actually doing a rally in a few weeks' time together, which he wanted me to shout out for him. So that'll be quite fun as a co-driver. Keep yourself busy in the winter. Paul and Jay, PJN, my sponsor. Obviously Chris is watching. So I have to look at my t-shirt to remind myself. James Brewer Electrical, Hell Performance, Jetstream, Spectra Packaging as well, Pit Lane Developments, James at HRRC. I probably got it wrong. I always get it wrong. And Meister R as well for their support this season.
Wonderful. Well, a great opportunity
And
to
Mum.
thank them. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mum, don't forget her. She'll be sat on the sofa shouting at me.
Hi, Mum. No, that's lovely. Well, it's nice to give you that opportunity to give them a shout out as well. So, Freddie, many congratulations, winner of the 2024 R56 class and the AirTech Trophy for the combined R53s and R56. Not a bad season, mate. Many congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. So we're gonna change over now because next up we're going to have Neal Clarke. So thanks, Freddie. We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Good evening, Neal.
Good evening.
Now you're here with two hats on, really, because directly above your camera we've got your Norfolk Cars mini specialist, but you're also a past Cooper champion, and in fact, I think you came runner-up again this year.
Yes, very true. We've been on board since the beginning, supporting the series, and had a cracking year last year in the Coopers, and returned this year. And whilst I didn't win this year, it was an awesome year of battling with Dan and Andy in the Coopers. So just great all round.
And of course, we do congratulate. We had Andy Langley on episode 2. Congratulations on the Cooper class win this year, Andy. I'll say that because I'm only joking. You would say that as well, wouldn't you, Neal? To be fair.
Of course, yeah, I have to. But when Andy's with us, he's always on the case. He's very thorough with what he wants with his car, and he deserved to win this year. He's just such a good driver and so difficult to pass, and it's been brilliant trying. But, managed it a few times, but then he's equally as good to get me back again. So that's been brilliant. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. And I got to tell you, from both a spectator and a commentator's perspective, is that it's always so much action going on the full length and breadth of the grid, and that in reality is what you want. You don't want to sit there and just sort of like poodle home from lights to flag, do you? You want to be able to have those battles.
Exactly that, and that's prior to this series being set up, we had the Kumo BMW thing, and then before that there was track day trophies, and I think like Freddie was saying, there wasn't the battles, there wasn't the close battles, and that's what gives me a buzz, more so than winning sometimes. Knowing that you've had a good fight, you've been able to defend, you've been able to attack, and it just puts a massive smile on your face, and you can get out at the end of the race, you can hug the other drivers you're battling with. It's just that lovely atmosphere in the park farm, in the paddock as well. It's really good.
Yeah, I do love that. Even when the battling's intense, that you still shake hands, smile, and everything. Mark Hume says, "Evening all, evening Mark to you as well." Keep those comments and questions coming in. Now, Neal, and before I'm going to address your intentions that I've been informed of for next year, is that I want to address your sort of almost dual involvement, both as a competitor and, as I said, directly above your camera there, the Norfolk cars. That's your business, is that right?
Yeah, and Gary Papworth, he's
Of course, yeah.
as well. Yeah, the clubman racer. So yeah, both of us, and I set it up 20 odd years ago now, and we've been doing the minis for 15 years. And Gary was initially helping me. He was an AA man, and he was on the side doing jobs for the workshop and cam belts on the driveway in winter time, all that kind of stuff. And eventually I said to him, look, just come on board. And he left the AA, come on board, and we've not looked back, really. So
Wow.
It's evolved from there, from having 2 or 3 minis on the driveway to a brand new purpose-built workshop that we've got now.
Where's that?
It's all in the village. We're rural Norfolk, Tilney All Saints near King's Lynn. And it's great because I work here from home in my office that's built onto the back of our premises, and the workshop is literally a 2-minute walk.
Oh, wow.
Some more farm buildings that we've converted into workshops and storage. And yeah, we've got a good team there now. It was getting stressful a few years back because more and more work was coming in and we had the race cars to prep. But we've just taken on another technician recently. So we've got Gary and Pete and Andy down there who are very competent with the minis and are turning out some good, reliable race cars as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So that the primary focus was road going cars, but the race cars has just sort of like obviously come along as well then.
Yeah, we predominantly we're an online retailer of minis. You know, we don't have any passing traffic where we're located. It's all online. And as that's grown and the customers want to come back for servicing, so that's grown. We acquired I wish we still had it, an original Mini Challenge R53 race car, probably about 10 years ago. And we thought, wow, let's have a go at racing. And we went in the track day trophy with that, not really knowing what we're doing, but absolutely loved it. And we then become involved with the Mini Challenge back in, I think it's 2015, when Charlie Butler Henderson was racing, and he was in the JCW class. So we sort of sponsored him because I've known him for through the motor industry. And then we got involved, and we did have a season in the Mini Challenge in 2020, I think, the COVID year. And it wasn't great because it was the COVID year, no spectators, etc. And then when Rob and Tom said what they're going to be trying to achieve with this new series, straight away I was like, yeah, I'm behind you on this. It's exactly what I've been after for years. And we nearly had it with the Cooper Am series, you know, and the numbers were 12, 13 Coopers in there, and it's a good atmosphere. And the boys have done an incredible job to be where they are right now, I think. Just in 2 years of this series, having the grid they've got and the people that are in the racing is fantastic as well. So it's great to be associated with it, you know. And
I can imagine.
I wasn't supposed to be racing because I said to him, I'll support you with getting it up and running. And 2022, I had baby, little Leo, and I said, I haven't got the time to race. But they said, well, look, you may as well do one, do the first one. So I said, I will. Which series do you want? Because we've got Cooper S's and Coopers. And he said, well, we could do with a few more numbers in the Coopers. So I went in the Coopers, went to Cadwell, and won the first 3 races. I thought, ooh, this is unusual. And my wife, who's very understanding, she said, oh, you're going to do it again then? I didn't even have to ask.
Wow.
Little baby Leo, who's nearly 2.5 now, he absolutely loves cars and tractors. So he comes along whenever he can, and because of it, he watches it on YouTube, if not. it makes family life easier. So I think there's another up and coming racer in a little while anyway, a few years.
Well, I love it is that I can see Tom Halliwell in the green room at the below us here, and he's chuckling away at you saying that. I think it sounds like they've done you up like a kipper at the beginning to get you in, because they knew that you wouldn't be able to walk away.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect that, and it carried on. And then the battles with, like I said, with Andy and Dan were fantastic, and it was tense that last race of 23, because I knew I had to finish and not mess it up, and also score the points. So it was really stressful, that last race. So this year has been a lot more relaxing, because obviously I missed Donington because we had a family holiday booked. So there was less pressure, because I kind of knew it'd be a tough ask to retain it. But having said that, Andy Langley won everything anyway, didn't he? So I don't think I would have come anywhere near.
Well, on that note is that I will. Where did it go? Where am I looking?
But we did prepare his car, so we have to take credit for that.
Well, Andy himself says, "Thank you, Neil. We had some great battles this year." So that's a lovely comment. Glenn Copeland's stirring up though. He says, "Are they all of Andy's trophies behind Neil?"
No, they're all mine from last year. Just one from this year. So I'll let Andy Langley have a few this year.
Fair enough. Well, and also Tom in the private chat's been winding up. He says, "You didn't have the baby, your wife did, so it was a poor excuse."
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
And he said he even gave you his old engineer Tom, and Ollie won when you couldn't do Donington in your car.
Andy Langley let him past. I saw. That's Andy Langley's bogey corner, that one at Donington. So he always lets people past on that corner. So, it's inevitable, really. But no, we've had a great team this year. Yeah, we've had Tom Ison and his brother-in-law James helping us, and I think because of that setup, we've got the Trundley boys on board now. It's not something we went out to get, but it's great having them on board, because they're a good couple of guys, and they're starting their racing careers late, but they're coming to the right series, I think. And we've got a couple of new cars that we're now building up for them, ready for next year. So we've got quite a few cars now, actually. Yeah, so might be hiring 2 out.
Yeah, so in other words, there is that whole team element, and I get I've heard that you are planning to move into the Cooper S with an R53 next year.
Potentially. I mean, I love the Coopers, so I've got the option, but if someone's going to rent one of our cars, I'll use the other car.
The other one, yeah.
So we're building an R56. We've already got an R53. The Trundley boys have got a couple of minis now. So I think with the Clubman and Andy Langley's Cooper and our Cooper, there's eight minis to choose from. So we're not short on that front. And Gary's busy trying to get them all ready for a bit of testing before the year end, so that we can get them right for next season. So Brilliant. Yeah, a lot to do in the workshop.
Well, it's such a great insight there, both as a racing driver, a business partner of the championship, but also as a team that are running multiple drivers. It's so cool to hear that involvement. I don't know whether it's the same comment to put to you or not, but I would imagine it is. Do you want to give a shout out to anyone at the end of this season, Neil?
Well, obviously Tom and Rob for organising this, because they have done a cracking job, and I know it can't be easy, and people always whinge and complain about different series, but honestly, this is one of the best. Even Gary's happy with the series, and just get Gary happy is something special. But it is a great atmosphere, so we're going to be supporting it going forward, and everyone on our team, because we've got a lot of people involved back at base, with mechanics, Gary and Andy and Pete, and Neil, who cleans the cars, so they all do well. But of course the family as well, because they are understanding of it. It is 5 weekends away, but they enjoy it, and make it all feasible, really.
Well, I love the sound of all of that. Listen, Neil, well done on another great season. Not quite champion this year, but still up there, just missing off that top step and runner-up. and run in the champ and all of that sort of stuff. And thank you on behalf of the championship for the support from Norfolk Cars as well. And I think it's safe to say that I can use the phrase, we look forward to seeing you in 2025 then.
Yes, sure. We'll be there. We'll be there.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for joining us, Neal. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Before I remove Neal, next up is that we're going to bring on Jordan from Ravenol. But before I do that, I'm going to bring up Tom and Rob so they know I'm about to bring them in, because I think it's right that we sort of almost precursor the fact that we're bringing Jordan on from Ravenol so they can lead into it, and then we'll bring Jordan on. So, Neal, thanks, mate. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Gents, I thought it made sense to do it this way because, and I'm not sure which one of you I should come to first, is that we're now going to bring out another one of your business partners. And I know I'll start with you, Tom, actually, because you have said to me in the past just how thankful and passionate you are about the businesses that you partner up with for this championship.
Yeah, without doubt. When we set out on this, we probably didn't know the kind of costs that were involved. We came out, typical me and Rob, came out with a load of words that sounded great. Everyone went for the idea. We hadn't got a bloody clue what we were doing. And then it starts to unfold. And the commitment we've had from AirTech, from Garmin, from Norfolk Mini. And then at the start of last season, it was quite a late sort of conversation, I remember, Rob. It was sort of back end of January, early February, wasn't it? And Ravenol were very keen to get involved. And at that late stage, we still put something together that's worked for everybody. This next season, 2025, everyone will have to run a Ravenol oil within their engine. And that's the kind of commitment back. But then Ravenol have also offered substantial discounts to the competitors. So it works for those as well. And also the scientific backup they get from Ravenol is fantastic. So again, it's somebody else who, like me, very, very kind words from Freddy and Neal about me and Rob, to be honest. Again, but without the people like those partners, we wouldn't be able to go racing. Although we may be able to, but entry fees would be a lot more, and then would that become another barrier to entry, which we're trying to stop. We want more people on the grid. So no, absolutely crucial for Mini Challenge Clubsport.
And Rob, this I'm going to bring out Jordan in a second, is that this was not just to sort of have a chat with one of your business partners, but without giving it away just yet, is that this has been deeper conversations to find something different to bring in new people.
Yeah, I think what we worked out is, because make no mistake, Tom and I have been going through a massive learning curve. And I think what we decided was that actually, there are X amount of race drivers out there, but through the Mini concept, through the car and through everything that we've built, the opportunities to bring new people into motorsport is probably where we want to be. And this is part of what we're proposing with Ravenol. So it's quite exciting. I think a lot of people who race in the Minis, they love the car. And so we decided that we wanted to sort of try and bring some links together with the owners' clubs and people who perhaps are new to racing. And that's one of the things that we have been discussing over the last few weeks.
No, absolutely. And I was just suddenly realizing for the bit that I'm doing later, I'm trying to multitask because I need to be able to show you the calendar on screen. And I realized I hadn't put that. Sorry about that. I was looking down. Well, in which case, Rob, I think, and Tom, perfect chance to get this person out so that we can have a chat about the business and then look at what this announcement is. Are you happy with that?
Absolutely. Far away.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good evening, Jordan.
Good evening.
From a car park in Bruges, I believe.
Oh yeah, we live at large up at Ravenol. This is what we do.
Absolutely.
Platers.
And I've got to try and stop Tom and Rob cracking any kind of joke comments about you sat in a car park. So we'll try to keep them away from that.
Yeah, I'm not talking like that. I don't want to.
Tom and I know what we're thinking here.
Yeah.
I know. Good job there's not a comments section, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. All I'm saying is the windows are completely black.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going
We
with.
weren't going to bring swinging into it tonight, were we? But never mind.
Behave. You just went there, didn't you? You went there anyway.
Jealousy
Jordan.
on Rob's face.
Jordan, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're on a busy road trip at the moment, so thank you so much for joining us. But you had to come on, even without the announcements that we're going to go with tonight, because Ravenol, clearly from the conversations I've had previously with Tom and Rob, are an integral part of this championship. For those who don't know, let's go back to basics. For anybody who doesn't know, who are Ravenol?
So Ravenol is a company, a German company that specializes in all manner of vehicles. So we have incredibly specific oils for if you've got a Ford, or you have an M57 BMW engine, or you've got an M20 or whatever, anything like that. We have a specific oil for your car, including even gearbox oil, so ZFs, Getrags, all of that. Everything is specific, and that's kind of our USP. And then obviously we've got the USVO range, which means instead of having linear polymers, they're star chained instead. So as it cycles through, as your oil cycles through the engine, it gets chopped up into little bits every single time. So what the USVO stuff does is it stops it kind of deteriorating, so there's less shear rate on it. And what you end up with is when you finish your racing, your 540 or whatever was in your engine is still a 540 at the end of that, as opposed to something that's lost its viscosity.
I mean, that just sounds incredible to me, and I'm like,
I'm not the technical person.
No, but I mean,
good explanation, though, Jordan. Good explanation.
Yeah,
well done.
It really is, and super impressive, even for those that don't necessarily know. Is and certainly I'm not mechanically minded, but even I was there going, right, I don't understand everything you just said, but I certainly know that wow, and there's a whole lot more to what I put in my car than I probably appreciated.
Oh, massively so, yeah. I mean, you've got gearbox oils, you've got coolants, you've got antifreeze, and engine oils, diff fluids, everything. In fact, my 236,000 mile BMW has all of it in, and it runs perfectly.
So in other words, they can go to your website and say this is the car that they've got, and it will basically tell them which one they therefore need to get.
Yeah, pretty much. So you go onto our oil finder, type in your reg, and it'll tell you what oils you need, and even tell you the fill amount you need. So, for example, this is 7 liters.
Wow. Okay, that's really, really cool. Incidentally, I did have so we've got the Ravenol direct-direct.uk, and we've got the full-blown motorsport one as well, which you can go to the main website and you'll be able to click the motorsport one as well, because it is both the race car and your road car, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We do 2 different ranges. We do a motorsport range and we do a normal car range, but most of the technology is shared across it. So in fact, our USVO range came from motorsport and it's now developed into road cars.
Oh, so it's that way around. That makes sense, actually, because a lot of the tech goes that way, doesn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, exactly like that, and everything just trickles down.
So all of the cars in the Mini Challenge Clubsport Championship will be using the Ravenol oils next season. But they actually, you guys, such as the partnership, that they even get discounts on those as well. Yeah,
so all of the drivers, if they've got their own personal cars, can have discounts on it as well. And then, of course, obviously their race cars as well, they get discounts on that.
Fair shout. Tom, any other things that you would be good to bring up or ask Jordan from your perspective?
No. I mean, Jordan's obviously got heavily involved since he started with Ravenol. I think it was during probably halfway through this year you started with Ravenol, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, Thruxton was the first time I met you guys.
Wow, so that was a little bit later, wasn't it? Because that was the penultimate round, wasn't it, Thruxton? I think it was. I've lost track.
It was the third round.
Third, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
The third round. Yeah.
Fine. I've lost track. The season's gone just like in a blur already, hasn't it? Well, the key thing, one of the other things is obviously the guys wanted an opportunity to promote Ravenol and thank for all the business partnership that continues and actually is going up a notch by the sounds of it for next year. Really, really exciting. And I guess the point being is even if people don't understand it, aren't sure, come and speak to you guys because you'll be able to advise them as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, give us a call or shoot us an email or even messages on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. We can help you guys out.
Perfect. No, that sounds good. But the big one is there is an announcement that this is going above and beyond just being a business partner and just being a supplier of the oils. is that there's a new initiative in kicking.
I missed all of what you said at the end there, but I think
Yeah,
I
so-
looked at it.
Yeah, so did I. I don't know who's into it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got out today.
Have another
Yeah,
gin.
that's what it is. It's going into the computer now. Yeah, but obviously talking with the guys, talking with Rob and Tom, that we want to bring an initiative to get newer drivers into the sport, just into racing in general. So there's talk of having the Ravenol Cup, so to speak, for new drivers who come in. So whether that's most overtakes in the season, etc. But yeah, it's gonna be something exciting. I think Rob and Tom, I think, have got more of the details on that than I do.
Which one of you two want to pick that one up then, guys?
Go on, Tom.
No, go on, you.
No, what we're developing is basically we want to bring people from the cars to the grid. So you buy a Mini, you join our owners club, then you get on the grid. And we came up with the idea that we would have the Ravenol Cup for the novice driver, and Ravenol have very kindly decided that they would sponsor that as part of our package. We will give a cup to the novice of the season, but with a special deal with a Ravenol for oil, and also some extra prizes which we will develop through the year and over the off season. But I think that it's going to be quite exciting. We want to bring in someone, male or female, who basically have never raced before, come in here and they've got something to race for rather than having to pit themselves against some of the more experienced guys and girls.
Well,
so it's a great, for us. It's great. I think for drivers coming in, it gives them something to aim for. We've all been in that situation. Starting out is really difficult, and sometimes you get lost because you're left at the back to find your own way. This gives people the opportunity to show them their own skills and development.
Agreed. Hence, I've now put up on the screen introducing the Ravenol Novice Cup. I think that's where it's at the moment as a title.
Where's the confetti?
Say that again, Jordan.
Where's the confetti?
Well, sorry, I should have, shouldn't I? Poof, I should have had something there. My bad. It's all over the floor of your car, mate. That's where it is. It's fine. It's fine.
Along with empty packets of crisps.
Well, and I probably could have done it where we could have had a bit of applause music going in the background. Just suddenly, play a bit of dance music or whatever. Whatever it needs to be, because it is a big deal. There we go. I've got a bit of music with it. It's a bit late for that now, isn't it? I missed
late for that, yeah. The anticlimax after, isn't it? Really, let's be honest.
I'll tell you what, this is just so professional. It's like a drinking club, isn't it, for old people?
It's a community, mate. That's what I told you. It's a community.
No, I think what Tom and I have talked about, and when I spoke to you, Jordan, you were quite excited. We were talking about introducing our own track days and track evenings, and part of that was actually to get people to come along, do an exclusive mini track evening with a view to getting their ARDS test, and then being able to race, and it's a progression to bring people in. Motorsport is such a difficult thing to get into, but actually when you're in there, it seems so easy. But we want to just help bridge that gap, really, don't we, Tom?
Yeah, definitely. I remember, I don't know whether you can remember your first race, Rob. I can remember mine, and it takes a long time and a lot of commitment to get on the grid. And I think I wouldn't have got there without a lot of close friends of mine. I'd followed in their footsteps of racing, and now, if you haven't got a direct connection, it can be quite a massive, a big wall to get over. So we're trying to help the people who, do have minis. There's hundreds, if not thousands, out there track daying now. I think every track that I've been to this year, there's at least been 1 to 2 minis, 56s, 53s, a few Coopers. And what we want to try and do is support those guys to make that jump. So we're in very early stages of looking to run track days at probably minimum of 2, maybe 3 of the tracks that we're going to visit in 2025. We're also looking at those events to be able to do ARDS tests for people who want to obtain their race license. And then we're trying to put them together with people who, if they need support, need some help, need some guidance, a bit like a mentor, we're putting people in there as well. So we're doing everything we can to not only, to bolster our own grid, but also take people who aren't on any grid, and support UK motorsport.
No,
I think I'd like to add to that, actually. I remember, having been in motorsport for so many years now, maybe 3-4 years ago, I decided I might have a go at rallying. And do you know what? It was I just didn't know where to go, who to speak to, how to get into it. And I don't want that to be the case in motorsport. I think that, especially motor racing, you want to be able to, have a clear path to be able to get into it. Because for me, and for Tom, it's just given us so many years of enjoyment. But sometimes you get scared by what is involved to be able to get, directly involved with it. And then you just walk away and do something else. So our job is to make it easier.
I think as well,
it's the unknowns, isn't it? That's the challenge that you've got to get over, and it's given that if they're going to track days, that means that we know that they've got the bug, they're getting the opportunity to go around and to sort of incorporate the getting their ARDS license at that time, and then you've got the Ravenol Novice Cup that could encourage them to come over. Don't panic about the established people. There is something that's rewarding the newbies as well, and it all joins together.
Absolutely. We've always tried to promote since we started this was that even in the way we grid the races up, that we start with open, and then we had the S class combined, then we had Cooper. Next year we're splitting the 53 and the 56 class, because as hard as we've tried, as previous others have as well, we can't equalise those cars. So we're going to let people battle for their own race. Now, with the novice, it gives somebody something to go for. It gives them an achievement at the end of the weekend, rather than just sort of having to keep, Rob, I don't know about you, but when you start out, it's a case you have to pick yourself up each weekend and keep going. It's a real game of perseverance to get to when you get to the front. It's a huge drug, and you want to keep going. But what we want to try and do is keep those people interested, engaged, and give them something to go for, and also a bit of a shine of acknowledgement at the end of the weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, a classic example, Jordan, is when we spoke the other day about it, and we said that we were looking at this, and with a view to doing track days. And your immediate reaction, I know you've done a bit of karting, was, "Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'll come along." And that's the thing, isn't it? To be involved with it and get in there and become part of the racing community is ideal.
I think it's one thing to do track days and kind of go at your own pace, but then to step into a racing environment is so much more fun, because it's insane, it's crazy, but it's so rewarding at the end of it. It's I love it. Like with karting, it's brilliant.
I've got a feeling you've got to be on our grid within I've got a feeling you're going to be on our grid within 2 years, Jordan.
I might ask my mum if I can take her JCW.
Well, Paul Sawyer, obviously, DJ Paul Sawyer's on your grid, and he says definitely daunting when you start, but completely addictive as the series progresses. And for me, I'm almost sat there thinking it's such a perfect thing for Ravenol to be getting involved with, because it's about, we were saying about not knowing, and it's getting rid of that not knowing. Well, your whole website and everything else that you do is that if you don't know what oils you need, we're able to direct you. So it's kind of like it's keeping the philosophy of Ravenol within the trophies that are available as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, information is key for anything. So it'll what oil you're using in your car. Fine, we'll tell you what it is. But if you want to go a step further and talk about motorsport, then we can point you in the right direction as well.
Everything's easy when you know how. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the key point. Well, even Claire McInnes is saying that it's certainly a hard challenge, but I think there was a message that was cut off, but it was almost as if she was saying that she can relate to that as well. So it resonates with people. So well done, and thank you to Ravenol for that. The Novice Cup sounds brilliant. Well done, you guys, for the whole the track day and the ARDS and all of that, and then going into the novice. There's an obvious progress, and as a commentator, I pick up on championships where they've got those rungs of the ladder, because as someone trying to get into it, there's so much choice that you go, well, where do I go? What ignore the unknowns. You're even then going, well, which is an obvious way to go? I want stepping stones. I want to know where I can go with this.
Definitely. And I think, as I said, huge amount of minis out there already doing track days. And then the daunting thought of, oh, well, I've got this car. The natural progression is to, if they want to go and race, is to race that car. And that's what we'd like to do, and give them as much assistance and help as they can, really.
Well, let's round up this show with a big one. I know we've already had Liam Stapleton that said, what are the dates for next season? So should we have a look at that, guys? You all right with that? Are we allowed?
Yeah.
You've been working hard on this, so let's have a look. Just quickly before I go into that, David Taylor says, it certainly is hard to get into racing, but until you have all the parts, car, suit, safety, equipment, license, and all that jazz, becomes a lot easier. And I agree. I think I'm going to get into racing soon as well, much to my wife's chagrin. But let's have a look at this calendar. Now, I will come to you, Rob, because we were speaking about this beforehand, is that you wanted to go to some like real, blue ribbon circuits. But you've even got things like asterisks against 3 of them where it's having the garages at them as well.
Well, I'm afraid that calendar's wrong. We start at Monte Carlo in May. Then we're straight off to, where was it? I can't remember. Spa. That's it, yeah. No, we've seriously got a fantastic calendar. I cannot describe to you how difficult it is to get a calendar together, especially with what we need in terms of our format, which is basically with the free practice, qualifying, and 3 races. It is so difficult. And I think we've done a great job.
I agree. I mean, that looks brilliant. So you start on the Silverstone National 17th, 18th of May, and you'll be in the garages for that. Back to Thruxton, 5th, 6th of July.
Can I just add there that actually we've got Thruxton for the trucks, and we've got Snetterton for the trucks. They are 25,000 people plus there. Silverstone International is a completely different circuit to Silverstone National. And we get to use the Grand Prix garages there.
Yeah.
But the big one for us is Brands Hatch. Brands Hatch is the mini festival. It's the old days mini festival, pre-66, mini Miglia, mini 7, fastest mini in the world, and we are headlining that, and we're in the garages, and they're expecting 25,000 people to be there.
It is, and I've been on the commentary team multiple times, and hopefully I will again next year for the mini festival. And it is always a fabulous event. So much atmosphere, loads going on off track as well as on track, and it genuinely works. And it's one of those ones. Sometimes you get 2-day events that you kind of go, that could have probably been squeezed into one. Absolutely not. That is a humdinger of a 2-day event. At Brands Hatch, they put on one heck of a festival. So it's so obvious, but really good to see you guys there at Mini Festival. So
no, I've never said this before, but in 2018, I won all 3 races at the Mini Festival.
I know, I covered it.
No, it's such a great event. I mean, all the owners' clubs come down. There's so much going on. And, everyone loves Brands Hatch Indy. It's just great.
And I got to say, even on the podiums, you still pretended you were grumpy after every win as well, by the way.
What do you mean, pretended?
You can't have been. You won, damn it. And I think
I've got to peel some spuds in a minute, so we need.
Yeah, it's fine. But I think that was the one where Stuart McLaren actually raced with no windscreen and back window as well, with it raining as well after a roll coming out of Paddock Hill.
I might have tipped him off, but sorry about that, Shirley.
Yeah. Well, Jamie Ringer, he says, "Where's Rob's sunglasses cop out?" That was when you were copying
there
him.
You go. I'll put my Dennis Taylor on this.
Yeah. Martin Ringer says, "Well done, boys." Glenn Copeland says, "Superb calendar. Genuinely, it looks super exciting." Jordan, that's got to motivate you to want to get out and race, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, let alone the fact I love racing and cars and everything, but I mean, Silverstone twice is brilliant, and down at Brands as well. Some absolutely cracking tracks there.
And it is, and like Rob made the key point, Thruxton, Snetterton supporting the trucks, they'll always be a big festival.
Yeah,
I do enjoy covering that. Yeah, and he's right, it brings out a lot of people for it, and I enjoy covering things like that. So seriously, guys, fabulous job on that calendar. I think that really wraps it up nicely. Neal Clarke, he's still in the background. He's just put a comment saying, "Well done, guys, awesome calendar." So he's pleased with that from obviously from Norfolk Cars. Anything else that you want to add, Rob, before we go?
We've got more stuff to add, but we'll bring it in October. I think we've got enough for people to chew over tonight.
Yeah.
I just want to thank everyone for coming on tonight. It's been such a great show. And that, I'd like to also just finally mention all of our champions. We've got Ross Alexander, who won the Opens. Him and Steve Berry had the most fantastic races this year. Andy Langley, obviously, we spoke to Andy last time. Him and Neil just did had such great battles. We haven't mentioned Zach. Him and I can't think of who he was racing.
Charlie
Newton-Darby. Oh yeah, because he went to the 53s. Yeah. And then Jamie Ringer, our sort of DJ boy. What do you call him? Sort of rapper boy. He didn't do too bad, but honestly, Freddie just wiped his arse in the end, didn't he? Just
that is right. I did mean to turn around and say Ross Alexander, Open Class champ, Freddie Hewitt, R56 champ, Zach Blackwell, R53 champ, Andy Langley, Cooper Class, and of course Freddie Hewitt, the combined Air Tech as well. Well done to all.
And Tom and I are looking forward to our do next week when we're celebrating the year. Glenn Copeland is going to be buying both of us drinks all night.
Fair shout. We're all witness to that as well. So David Taylor says, "Wow, Silverstone, Snetterton and Thruxton, tracks I've never raced at, wicked." Tom Messenger says, "Love seeing the club support package with the BTRC." That's obviously the trucks. So well done there. Neal Clarke, I know you've seen this, Jordan, because you've responded. He has said, "Jordan, we'll have a car to rent if you want to join in." So there you go. There's a rental car available for you as well. Absolutely wicked. I hope this gets everyone really excited. Thank you to everybody that's been on for this evening show. It's been absolutely brilliant. And I know that multiple of you were busy, but it was well done. Let's keep this community growing. It might be the winter, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop chatting. We've got so many people that we want to speak to. Let's have this fun night where we grab a couple of drinks, we have a giggle, we mutually enjoy the championship that these guys are putting on. Seriously hard work, but I came on board instantly because I love the spirit that they create. And I'm sure that goes the same with the likes of Ravenol and Norfolk Cars, people like that. The reason they get involved is not just another championship. It's a fun place to be. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for tonight. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Take care, guys.
See you later
Good night.
Good
night.
Bye-bye.